Between 1976 and 1994, one person mailed over 800 letters to a small Ohio town, and no one ever proved who they were. The file opens with a date, June 1976, Circleville, Ohio, population 11,000. A woman named Mary Gillespie received an envelope in her mailbox. Inside, a handwritten letter unsigned. The record only says it was accusatory, making claims about her personal life. She didn't recognize the handwriting, no postage stamp. Hand-delivered sometime between sunrise and the mail carrier's afternoon run. What made this letter different wasn't its content, it was what came next. Mary Gillespie wasn't the last. She wasn't even the first, though her letter was the earliest one preserved in police records. By autumn of that year, dozens of households in Circleville had received similar notes. Always unsigned, always accusatory, always personal. The writer knew things, details about family arguments, infidelities, financial troubles, things a stranger shouldn't know. Who sends 800 letters over 18 years without being caught? The question became an obsession for Circleville police. The letters kept coming in mailboxes under windshield wipers taped to car doors. Some arrived during daylight hours, some in the dead of night. The writer showed no pattern, no mercy, no signature. But the town had a theory forming. This wasn't a random vandal. This was someone local, someone with access to the community's secrets. By 1983, the letters had escalated beyond accusations. The writer began drawing crude illustrations on the envelopes, cartoons of town residents, sometimes vulgar, sometimes threatening. One recipient received a note warning them to stop a particular behavior or else. The or else was never specified. That ambiguity was the weapon. The town lived in a state of dread that had no clear source. Police launched investigations. They examined handwriting samples from dozens of suspects. They checked ink composition. They tracked delivery patterns. The record shows they interviewed teachers, postal workers, neighbors. Several people fell under serious suspicion at different points, yet no arrest ever stuck. No confession ever came. The letter writer remained invisible. One name surfaced repeatedly in police files, Paul Freshour, a local resident and mechanic. The record indicates he became a primary suspect in the early 1980s. Freshour denied involvement, but suspicion alone was enough. His reputation fractured. His business suffered. The town whispered. The file notes that while he was investigated intensely, no charges were ever brought against him. But the letters kept arriving. Throughout the 1980s, the phenomenon persisted. Some residents became paranoid. Others left town. Families fractured over accusations made in anonymous notes. Marriages dissolved. Friendships ended. All because of words from someone whose face no one had ever seen. The psychological toll of 18 years of anonymous harassment cannot be overstated. Then in 1994, the letters stopped. Not gradually, abruptly. The final envelope was mailed sometime that year. No explanation, no farewell note, just silence. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, Circleville residents opened their mailboxes without dread. The writer had vanished as mysteriously as they'd appeared. But the mystery deepened rather than resolved, because shortly after the letters ceased, Paul Freshour was found dead. The official record lists it as a suicide by gunshot, yet questions remained. Had he been the letter writer, finally ending his campaign? Had the harassment destroyed him? Or was his death coincidental, a tragic ending to a man whose life had been ruined by suspicion alone? The record does not provide clarity. Freshour left no suicide note, no confession, no statement addressing the letters. His death raised more questions than it answered. Some in Circleville believed he was the letter writer, finally unable to bear the weight of his secret or the suspicion it had created. Others believed he was a scapegoat, an innocent man driven to desperation by a town's need to assign blame. The case was never officially solved. No arrest warrant was ever issued. No charges were ever filed. The Circleville Police Department's file remains open technically. But practically, the letters have been gone for 30 years. The writer, whoever they were, took their identity to the grave or kept it buried in a living mind that chose silence. What we're left with is speculation, but the record only supports certain facts. Over 800 letters were mailed. The handwriting showed consistency across years, suggesting one person. The content was intimate and accusatory, suggesting local knowledge. The writer was never identified, and the letters stopped in 1994. A suspected person died shortly after. That's the evidence. Everything else is theory. Some residents of Circleville have moved forward. Others never truly recovered. The town's name became synonymous with one of Ohio's strangest cases. True crime podcasts have revisited it. Amateur investigators have proposed theories, but no new evidence has emerged. The letter writer's identity remains one of America's most persistent small-town mysteries. The case teaches us something unsettling. Sometimes the mystery outlives the facts. Sometimes the absence of answers is more powerful than any resolution could be. 18 years of anonymous terror, one unexplained death, and a town that still doesn't know who lived among them, watching, writing, accusing, until the day they stopped. Subscribe to investigate the next unsolved case. New mysteries every week.